Hey you guys, so I'm here with a story time. This is gonna be my first story time. I actually asked my Instagram what story they would want to hear, and I gave two options: either the story time about when I found out I was adopted, or the story time about my first fight. So a lot of people picked the first fight video, but more people picked how I found out I was an adopted video. So I was just like, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna do this one first because it's gonna be my first official story time. And I kind of just figure, you know what, this would be a good first story to tell because it kind of like get lets y'all get to know me and about my life in the way I grew up, and just a little background story. Like, I don't want to say too much, but I'm gonna let y'all know like how I found out I was adopted. So let's see, where do I start? I feel like I should kind of like give a background about my family first, so y'all could kind of like understand and like get it. So basically, it's six of us. It's me, my three brothers, and my mom and dad. And my mom and my dad had my oldest brother first. And I guess after they had him, like, after like 5 years, like when he was like 5 years old, I don't know if they decided when he was like 4. They probably did. But when I was born, he was 5 because he's 5 years older than me. So basically, they decided they wanted to adopt. And I'm not really sure why they decided they wanted to adopt, but they did. So, and I'm here. So yeah, and then I have two younger brothers, and I'm gonna talk about them later. But so basically, how the story goes, or how it started, about how they ended up adopting me and finding me, was they wanted to adopt a child, and when they got to like the adopted agency or like whoever it was, they asked them, okay, like, do you want a boy, do you want a girl, like, do you prefer a race, like, what's important to you? And my mom told me, she said it doesn't matter, like, it doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl, doesn't matter like what race, like whichever child needs a home, that's what we want, that's what we're going for. So my birth mother, the story I was told was that like, I guess how it works is when you're looking to put your child up for adoption, you kind of, and you really do care about where your child is going, and this is not in all cases, but most cases, if you really do care where your child is going, you're gonna get like a portfolio of like different parents who want a child. So she picked my parents. Like, my parents, they didn't necessarily pick me, but they just wanted whichever child like needed a home. That's what they were going for. So my birth mother picked them, and that's how that happened. So so damn it. Ooh. So so yeah, so that's how that happened. And then I guess they just went through the process. They didn't really meet my birth mom like that. Like, probably talked over the phone. Like, I don't really know too much about her. Like, I just found out her name like recently, and I'm 24, so I don't really know that much about her. But I do know that she had a son before she had me, and she didn't put him up for adoption. Like, that's her son. So but I don't know him neither. But so anyway, so after they adopted me, they adopted my little brother, and then my other little brother, and they're like, I want to say like 2 years apart, or like a year and a half apart. But they're actually from the same birth mother. Like, they're not blood related to me, but they got the same birth mother. So okay, so fast forward now, we're adopted, and I was probably, I had to be in like kindergarten because we were going to a private school at the time in Fort Lauderdale, and I really didn't know anything was like different, because when you're a child and that's all you know, and I was adopted from right when I was born, So it's kind of like, these are my parents. Like, I don't know any different. This is my mom, this is my dad. Still to this day, this is my mom, this is my dad. Like, these are my parents, this is all I know. So I didn't really like see like anything different. I didn't see color. I didn't know anything like that. So what ended up happening is the private school I went to. Wait, I kind of got to stop the story real quick because now I feel like I done confused y'all. Let me start by saying this. My adopted parents are white. So, yes. So let's just say that. Okay, so my adopted parents are white. My oldest brother, their actual biological son is white. And then me and my 3 brothers are black. So going to the private school, of course, it's a bunch of white kids. We was like the only black kids at the school. But like I said, we didn't see color. That's why I said that. We didn't see color or anything like that. So what happened was, somebody in my older brother's class, mind you, he's 5 years older than me, so he was probably like in 5th grade when I was in kindergarten, preschool. Somebody in his class got the chicken pox. So they sent out the letter like they always do, informing all the parents that somebody has the chicken pox and to, you know, get them vaccinated or whatever the case is. So coming home, me and my mom, we were having a conversation about that. And I was like, do we have to, like, you know, worry about it? And she was like, Andrew doesn't because he already had the chicken pox, and me and your dad already had the chicken pox. And I was like, okay, well, did I have the chicken pox? And she was like, no, you didn't have the chicken pox. And I was like, okay, well, did my younger brothers, did they have the chicken pox? And she was like, no, they never had the chicken pox. So I was like, okay, let me get this straight. You had the chicken pox, dad had the chicken pox, and my older brother Andrew had the chicken pox. But us 3, we ain't never had the chicken pox. So that's why y'all are white and we're black. So once we get our chicken pox, we gonna be white too. Like, it all made sense to me as a child at the time. Like, I was like, I done figured it out. That's why y'all is white. That's why y'all are lighter than us. And this is why we're darker. So all we gotta do is wait until we get the chicken pox and we gonna look like y'all. Like, I had no idea. Like, being a child, like, I'm just thinking I'm just so smart. I probably had to be like 4, 5, like, so young. So at that time, like, I still didn't really like understand, but of course my mom broke it down to me and she explained to me that, like, you know, I was adopted and that I didn't come from her tummy, but I came from somebody else's. But I don't really remember that conversation too vividly, but I know, like, we had a conversation along those lines. And as a child, like, it just doesn't matter to you. Like, you're just like, okay, like, you don't understand how it works anyway. So it just doesn't really matter to you. It doesn't make you feel like any, like, less of yourself. At least it didn't for me, and I don't think it did for my brothers, like, at that time. But once I was, like, getting older, I started to, like, understand it more. And I feel like it was a lot of the bullying at school that really, like, made me understand, but, like, made me realize, okay, something is different. Like, my family is a little bit different, like, than the other kids at school. And I used to get bullied bad, y'all, like, bad. Like, people used to be like, oh, you're an Oreo, you're an orphan, you're like Dorinda off of Cheetah Girls. I think that's her name, Dorinda, the one with the blonde hair that was a foster child. All type of stuff, like, just all type of, kids are mean, but I already knew, like, what it was. Like, my mom already broke it down to me that my birth mother wasn't, like, a bad person, and that she loved me, and that's why she did what she did. So I always was, like, content with that. Like, I never felt like, you know, I was just a throwaway or anything like that. But that's pretty much how I found out that I'm adopted. I mean, most people are like, how did you not know? Because your parents are white and, like, your older brother's white and the rest of y'all are black, so how did y'all not know? But as a kid, you don't see color. That's something, that really is something that you're taught. Like, you're taught to, like, see the difference, and I wasn't taught to see the difference. Like, we were the same, we bleed the same, we're both, like, human, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I didn't know. I thought it was the chickenpox. I thought that's why we looked a little different. I really didn't think, anything of it. But I always think it's funny because, like, when my mom used to, like, take me out when I was a baby, they used to be like, oh my gosh, she looked just like you. Oh my gosh. I know you lying. Like, I know you lying, but thank you. Thank you. So yeah, and I act just like my mom. Like, me and my mom are like one and the same. It's kind of sick, but yeah, we act just alike. So yeah, and then another thing growing up that I always thought was funny, but it's just, I don't know, like, I think it's funny. Other people be like, oh, that's messed up. But I think it's funny, like, when we used to go out to eat, like, people would just stare, like, and I never understood. Now that I'm older, like, I get it. Like, I understand, like, how, like, white people can be, and, like, how, like, people can just, like, be like, what's going on? But yeah, people used to just stare at us. And one time, no, let me tell you, one time we went to Chuck E. Cheese and they thought my parents was kidnapping us. They really thought my parents was kidnapping us, guys. And yeah, we would go out to eat and they'll always be like, oh, y'all on separate checks? Like, no, we're together. Like, we're together. Like, even now, like, when I go out to eat with my dad and it's just me and my dad, like, he's in his 60s. And, with this whole city girls thing going around and this whole hot girl summer, I know what y'all be thinking. No, this is literally my father. Like, he raised me. Stop with the mess. Like, come on now. So yeah, I definitely get stares. When I was younger, I really didn't notice, like, for real. And when I did notice, I didn't think they were staring because, like, of those reasons. But now that, like, I'm older, like, I understand, like, why people be looking, like, because they don't know. And that's why you should just never, like, judge nobody, because you just don't know. So yeah, let me just wrap this up because this is a long video. But yeah, so that's how I found out I was adopted. I'm gonna be doing more story times just because I love running my mouth. Like, this is like the only thing I know how to do good is run my mouth and talk. So yeah, so that's why I want to do story times. And I'm gonna try to, like, keep the content coming because I got a lot of stories. Anybody who knows me knows I've been through some ish, y'all. So I know I have a lot of stories to tell y'all so y'all can get to know me. This is just the beginning because I feel like this will make you understand my life and why I am the way I am. And yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It doesn't cost you nothing. It's free. So do that. My videos are probably gonna be real ratchet at the beginning because I don't know how to edit, y'all. I don't know how to do none of that, but I'm learning. I gotta get me a camera. I'm doing this on my phone right now, so I gotta get me a camera, a little ring light, all the little YouTube stuff. But right now, I don't got it. So yeah, so like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next video.